Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Landon. I am Holistic Movement Healing. But basically in this video, I just want to talk about the consistency of change. I was out on a walk basically today. It was a gorgeous day in Arizona, first of all. So I went on a hike this morning, and then tonight I didn't feel my hike was long enough. And so I went out and walked by the lake, and lake in Arizona, interesting, right there. It was the man-made lake, but I walked by the lake and in the park, and I just sat and journaled for a bit. And the stuff that came out when I journaled today was kind of interesting, so I just wanted to share, basically. And it was all about the consistency of change, and basically how that is the only consistency within our life, is change. And so basically, I started journaling, and I thought I was going to journal about something. The word common was in my head, and so I was like, okay, so it's been a common day. And so I started writing it was a common day, but instead I wrote I'm. And so I was like, okay, so I'm obviously meant to write about something else. And so I said, I'm a common man, and I put common in quotation marks. Which is so interesting, because then I went on to explain how I'm a common man, but I'm not perfect. And I feel like the common man, or like the man that people see when they think of a man, they think of a perfected man. But I'm not perfect, and literally nobody's perfect. And I went on, but in the sense that I'm not perfect in the sense of perfection. I am perfect in the sense that I am beautiful now, as I am. I'm not saying I'm like this gorgeous god or anything. No, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying the perspective and view I have of myself in this moment is that I am beautiful. And that, in a sense, would make me perfect. The other side of me is I am growing, and in a sense that would make me perfect. In my perspective, I'm also successful. In that sense, I am perfect. And so, just as everything in this life and everything in this world and everything in existence, our perspective on how we view the terms that we use brings about the answers to those questions. Am I perfect? No. But I am. And you are. And it's just our view of how we view that and see that. And then I went in to explain a little bit about how, in order to get to where I am, in order to get to where you are, there had to be a process of change. There had to be the growth from the baby to the adolescent to the adult. There has to be that process. There needs to be this time and this experience, basically. But the experience comes through change, comes through choices, comes through, change. Yeah. And I wanted to explain just my experience with change and the consistency of it. This is really interesting because I wanted to pinpoint the exact moment where my life started to change. And I went back to when I decided to go to college, when I decided to switch colleges, when I decided to move away from home, when I decided to do summer marching band, when I decided to ride a bike, when I decided to hang out with a friend. And it just kept going back. It just kept going back further and further. And so I was like, okay, so this is just going to keep going, and I'm just going to keep going through memories. Where is the first time my life changed? And honestly, I believe my life changed the moment I was born. Because our life is not this. Our life is our soul. Our life is our consciousness. Our life is our being. And our being is not this human, okay? And so my life changed the moment I was born. And I was born through, as everyone, the traumatizing experience of a human birth. And that was the moment my life changed. And of course it goes on to other experiences of like when I fall off a scooter and scrape my knee. There was a change there. My body was different. When I was being taught to ride a bike and my dad went to get lemonade, and so my brother actually taught me how to actually ride a bike without training wheels. Or all of the moving we did when I was younger, moving from one state to the other, then back, then moving away. Or divorce as a child in high school. Change after change after change. But as the change goes throughout, it's not just these major life events that are the change, it's a daily occurrence. Daily. We change daily because we have the choice to change. We have the choice to change. You can either keep going forward, choosing to progress, or you digress. Yeah, that's the word I want to use. You go forward, you go backwards. There's not really like stagnation, being stagnant, just idling. In my perspective, I don't believe you can do that. You're either going forward or you're drifting away. You're diminishing. You're like dispersing. We have the choice to progress. We have the choice to not to. Yeah. You have the choice to continue forward, or you have the choice to stay where you are. And in the choice, whatever choice it is, that choice is a choice to adapt. How are you adapting to situations? How are you adapting to the change? We adapt. Our literal requirement is how I called it when I was writing, is to adapt. The requirement of our life is to adapt. You wake up and you have to adapt to being conscious again. You get out of bed, you have to adapt to being on your feet again. Literally all of these situations in life, simple moments of adapting. And it's just incredible. But that adaptation, that change, that consistency of choice is the only thing in our lives that is consistent. In my view. Again, this is just my view, my perspective. There's so many other perspectives, so many other views and beliefs. But the change we have every day, the choice we have to adapt, how we adapt, that's the consistency in this human life. And so how are we showing up to that change? How are we approaching ourselves? How are we approaching making those choices? How are we adapting? How are we changing? Are we progressing? Or are we staying? Staying. So that's really all I have. Wow, this video is longer than I thought it was gonna be. Wow, I literally had 4 bullet points. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and like, Comment down below. I always love to hear from you. And subscribe if you haven't already for more content like this. And with that, I will see you next time. Bye.